Holy crap, that scared the crap out of me.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Bowhunter Die, where we were going to have Justin sing a little tune to get us started. It was more of a...
It wasn't really a singing.
Song, yeah.
It was more of like an announcement.
But since we have it on video, we'll go ahead and use that. We got that one that he was so afraid to redo it a second time. So the episode
get
with...
ready to
let's
turkey
get ready
hunt. You got to be in the moment, though.
I know you were in the moment, so we'll use it. We'll show it.
In the moment.
Okay.
You got to be feeling it, feeling yourself. What would the kids say, Ben?
That works.
You got to be feeling yourself. That sounds a little weird, but
yeah,
making it weird.
Ben's not wrong. We are making it weird. We should talk about
weird.
Turkey hunting.
Yes, let's get
Today
into
was the last
hunting.
day of the turkey season. I want everybody to know Todd did not go turkey hunting this morning.
No.
I was a little disappointed to find out that you didn't go this morning.
saw some turkeys
I
this
know.
morning.
I thought maybe today you were going to find it in you on the last morning.
And you know what, too? I drove down with my skid steer, loud as heck, making noise.
Yeah, they don't care. It's
Dude,
tractor.
He may even gobbled frog. He was out there strutting, and dude, there was a whole bunch of them.
What time did you go down there?
6:30.
Oh, man, yeah, it would have been perfect. Off the roost, you would have came in all hot and bothered and just smashed him.
You're probably right. I think they were in there picking my beans. I got my beans planted. I got
Who
a
was
bunch of
picking
food.
them? The birds?
The bird, yeah. I think they were digging up my beans.
Oh, that you just planted?
Yeah.
Well, you should have killed them then. They're eating all your beans. They're not cheap. No. Well, this week, guys, we have two fun turkey hunts. We have me. I finally killed a turkey. Not finally. I guess I killed one last year, too.
Yeah. But from the ground. You set sail to do something.
From the ground as opposed to from my tree stand.
Well, I guess from the...
Blindless.
Right.
Without
you wanted
ground
to do it
blind. Yes. And then
Goal setting.
And then we got Dan Richardson as well, shooting a bird, and then it gets gross. So you're going to have to stay tuned to see what happens. So let's stop talking. Let's watch a couple turkey hunts right now. Do you hear that? No, it's not a turkey gobble. It's rain, because why not? Why wouldn't it be raining? Why wouldn't one little storm cloud just come pop up over where I'm hunting today at 5 a.m., right half hour before daylight? Anyways, I'm going to sit in the truck till this passes, and then I'll think about going and trying to find a turkey. I'm pretty sure I heard some hens in those woods over there across that field. So I threw the decoy out and got set up just in case. Kinda worked, I guess. I heard that hen over in the woods over there, so I figured I'd get set up here, see if there's any birds around. She came out in the field and was just yelping like crazy. I wouldn't say she came into the decoy, but she was probably within shootable bow range anyways. It's about 10 after 6. I only have about a little over an hour left to hunt, so I haven't heard any gobbles where I'm at. So I think I'm gonna move around a little bit. Just try to see if there's any toms out here, maybe for the next couple days. Today's the second day of my season. I think it's 6 days long, something like that, 6 or 7 days. So I may as well move around the farm, see if I can see or hear a tom anywhere before I have to go to work. If nothing else, it might give me a starting point for tomorrow if I decide to hunt. Don't yell at me. I'm on a farm road. Going 12 miles per hour. And no, I'm not wearing my seatbelt. 100% a spot I could kill a turkey in. I had to fine tune my setup just a skosh, but it's pretty good, I thought. Question now is, get up here. She seemed to be looking for love. From what what is that? Deer. But not those. And 2 turkeys. There's a tom right there. Alright, I got turkeys. I got a tom out here. Interesting. I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. It's good to know where he's at, though. Alright, I got 2, or at least 1 tom and 2 hens. The 4th bird, I can't tell what it is. I don't know. Make a plan here. I don't know if that was him or what that was, but definitely a gobble. Alright, that bird's gobbling over here. He's probably within, I don't know, 100 yards. That last gobble sounded like he might have been a little bit closer, so we'll see. I'm not in the best spot, but I had to get set up quick because I didn't know if he was coming or not. I am way out in the open. I have like 0 cover. It's just me, my bow, my Jake decoy. We'll see if it's enough to get the job done. Whose bright idea was it to try to hunt turkeys without a blind? Dang it. I knew that was going to happen too. This spot that I set up in, just because I was in a hurry, the direction the bird was coming from, I literally can't see anything. It is so thick and green. So by the time he got to a spot where I could see him, and I moved my hand to turn the camera on, it was over. I think he saw me move. That was all she wrote. He snuck by. I thought about trying to draw and shoot, but when I first saw him pop out, he was in full strut coming right to that Jake. And he must have just seen me moving. That was it. Buenos dias. It's time to go. Turkey hunting. Coffee. Protein bar. Let's go. Definitely got a little better setup today. Problem is we have no birds. We got our dealie, our bow, got a little bit better cover. Decoys somewhere out there. Thinking the birds were gonna come that way. I haven't heard or seen anything this morning. There was a big tom with a couple hens out in this field yesterday, so I was kind of hoping they'd be out here again today. Those hens are finally gone, so I'm gonna grab all my stuff and go on a walk / drive about, see if we can find a male turkey. That's what we're looking for. These two hens were sitting out here preening themselves, I believe you would say, forever. I thought I was going to get a shot at him. He probably came across at like maybe 30 yards. I thought he was just going to come into these decoys, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll shoot him, but didn't even really look at the turkeys, just kind of skedaddled on through. I saw some deer too. Not a bad morning. 2 turkeys, 3 deer, 1 coyote. Could have been worse. There's a bird gobbling right the direction that I came in. Got some annoying geese. He's hammering over there. Man, I wish I had a better setup. Oh well. My feet are kind of cold. And I don't know how long I want to stay out here. And I have to pee. And I wish I had some coffee. And I wish I was a little bit taller. And I wish I was a baller. Music to my ears. Machinery. So I made the mistake of not checking the weather. I knew it was going to be warm today. It's going to be like 74. I was like, hell yeah, dude, 74. I don't have to wear as many clothes as I've been wearing. It's been cold the last few mornings. So I lightened up the amount of clothing I'm having on. But guess what? It's actually colder this morning than it's been the last few mornings. It's 41, 42, which is super annoying because I am wearing less clothing than I was wearing before. This, my friends, Moral of the story, this is why you should be hunting turkeys out of a ground blind with a heater, because then it doesn't matter. Not sitting on the ground, exposed to the elements like some kind of savage. What am I? Thought we lived in a proper society. Very well, it's about 5:15, 5:20. We got a bird relatively close gobbling. He's on the other side of this big kind of creek, so hopefully when he flies down, sure it would be awesome if he just came right into this field. It sounds like I got 2 birds gobbling. One, I'm gonna say within 150. The other one's probably 250, 300 behind him, but it's promising. The other day the birds flew down at like 5:42, so imagine the next 10 minutes they hit the ground here. And then we will see what happens for real. He's gobbling over there. Let's hope he figures out a way across that creek, comes over into this field. That would be amazing. Yeah, 6:03, baby. That was perfect. Absolute perfection. In every way. Unfreaking believable. Turkey without a blind. 6:04. Heck, I'd probably get to the office on time. Oh my goodness. That was so much freaking fun. I hate turkeys and I hate turkey hunting, but gosh, that was fun. Check out my little setup here. Camera on the 4th arrow stake. 360. It's a thing of beauty. That is a thing of absolute beauty, my friends. Oh my goodness, what a morning. Nice bird. Oh, look at the friggin' spurs on that thing, dude. Oh my goodness, that's definitely an older bird. Let's go. Oh, I lost a fletching in the process, but That is a beautiful thing. There are few broadheads as devastating on a turkey body shot as an NAP Spitfire, my friends. So I will set up right against that tree right there. He was roosted in those far trees over there. I saw him pitch down in that field over there. He actually came and flew across the creek right here, came out into this field. Kind of acted disinterested, but they seem to do that thing where they kind of mess around for a while, and then all of a sudden they're just like, you know what? It's go time. He gets to about 50 yards behind this decoy and just marched right in, started strutting. Perfect. He spun away from me at full strut. I came to full draw. He had no idea I was there. And I made an absolute perfect smoking shot on him. The old gobbler getter got us a gobbler this morning. Beautiful day. You don't get enough of these days as a bow hunter, right? These are the days, the moments that we live for, right? I mean, gosh, beautiful sunrise, foggy, cold, awesome morning. Like just, yeah, that's what we love about being a bow hunter, man, right here. So I'm gonna get him tagged up and we're gonna load up the truck and go get some coffee. Bow hunter dad, baby. All right, young Ben. Where's young Ben? He's over there. We're out. He's out shooting his bow here, but we put the old turkey on the HME scale at the office. Did he just get heavier, Ben?
Yeah, I don't know how what that happened.
Because now it says 23.2. 23.2. Look at the hooks on this thing. Look at that. Beauty.
Good morning again. April 22nd. Beautiful morning. It didn't rain last night finally. Came out yesterday from scouting and there was a tom down here on the road strutting. I could see it from my truck. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I haven't heard anything here where I'm at, but way back behind me, which is close to my house, there's a bird going nuts. But I'm standing here on the road and you can see where that tom was walking in the mud. I'm still hoping he lights off here in a minute. I'm getting some game cam pictures way back that way of some toms. Just trying to figure out what I'm going to do in the morning tomorrow. Tomorrow is opening day. I don't know yet. It's one of them deals where I just don't know what to do just yet. The fields around here have pretty much been sprayed. It's all dead right now. The birds are not using them much. Farmer had his disc out yesterday starting on a field, so probably going to be woods hunting. Well, good morning from the blind. I'm hunting that bird that was gobbling his head off yesterday. I went home after he pitched down, and from my upstairs I could glass the back of this field, and he was out here strutting with one hand. So I waited till about probably 3 o'clock. Made sure he was gone. I came in here, I went ahead and popped the blind up real quick and got out. I don't know if he'll be roosted behind me. You know how birds are. Sometimes they'll do the same pattern for 2 or 3 days, and then he may be 500 yards across the way this morning. So I don't know if he's there or not, but we're going to give it our best shot. Holy crap, that scared the crap out of me. I had a hen fly from behind me directly over me. I had my head stuck out the door that way right now. Maybe there's a tom back here. Things are loud when they fly over your head. Here comes that sun. Just as I feared. Bird down. But the bad part is, he just went in this water. He flopped right in a ditch. He's gonna look like he's a mess. Bird down, baby. After he gobbled a couple times this morning, he never made a peep after that. And I just happened to look out my mesh. And here he come. He was all strutted up. I'm hoping the 360 got it. I'm hoping it's still on. There was a couple hens running in with him. Come in and started pounding the decoy. I was really afraid with that sun he was going to see me, but he got sideways, and I lined up where I knew the kill was, and I shot, and it was perfect. And man, but what a bad place to go, right there in a freaking muck. That's crazy. What a mess. Well, you gotta love it when a plan comes together. Everything worked out perfectly this morning. I found this bird yesterday back here in these pine trees, gobbling his head off. I was hoping he would be there again this morning. He wasn't. There was 2 hens roosted in them pines, and they flew right over my blind into the decoys, got nervous, went up that way. This bird gobbled 2 times this morning, and he was in the woodlot over this way on another property. I didn't want to get too close to that in case they was hunting, but it all worked out. Actually, he came in silent to the calls. He never gobbled more than 2 times this morning, but I couldn't have made a better shot. I hit him in the wing, absolutely destroyed his wing bone. I got right in the boiler room. It was an epic hunt this morning, and good way to start opening day. Bow hunter die, baby. Okay, what we have, 22 pounds even. He's got 1-inch spurs and a 9 3/4 beard. A little bit heavier than what I thought he'd be.
Well, Justin,
remember when you were making fun of me and telling me what a terrible turkey hunter I was and how much better you were?
yeah,
than
dude,
me?
you did a
'Cause
great
I
job.
remember that.
And I'll tell you what I loved
Pepperidge
about your
Farm
hunt.
remembers.
Dude, it was a good hunt. And now you kind of raised the bar, because now I feel like I need to get a turkey without a blind. So now, like, next year, it's just going to have to be the goal for
I wish I
myself.
would have done it sooner, to be honest with you. It was kind of fun. It wasn't that hard. I mean, it was harder, but it wasn't like an impossible, insurmountable task.
I think
But you know what?
I wasn't going to say you got lucky, but one thing that was cool about your hunt was just that overcast.
Yeah, it was a
That
cool
fog.
morning.
Yeah. I think the turkeys can't see as well then.
Think so? Well, he came into the decoys so he could see the decoys, obviously.
They just can't see movement as far. No, I'm just
Yeah.
giving you a hard time. Hey, it was a great hunt. You did it from the ground. You and Kurt can be in your own special elite class now.
Did anyone else on our team do this that we know of? Baron did it, kind of, quasi. He kind
Why?
of had some netting up in
Dude,
front
that's
of him.
okay.
And he was shooting a crossbow. We'll give him half points for that one.
I'm giving him full points.
He didn't have to draw the bow back. That's the hardest part, right? Especially when you're bow hunting a turkey.
Yeah, that's the whole
Getting your
point with
bow
bow
drawn
hunting,
back.
period, is just knowing when
Shooting
to do
with a
that, how to
crossbow
do
is
that.
awesome and fun, but it's basically the same as shooting them with a gun, really. You know, in my opinion.
Well, you and Tyler can take that up and have a debate on that.
He probably wouldn't disagree with me. I don't know why anybody would disagree. I'm just saying. It's a statement of fact.
Well, Justin, congratulations. It was a good bird. It was a good hunt.
Thank you. And I cleaned the spurs. We
And
talked
I-
about this on the watering hole.
And I will admit, you did a great job. I was
Thanks,
wrong.
Todd. Dan did
I
a
was
nice
giving
job
you a
there,
hard
too.
time about your turkey hunting, but you really
Thank you,
did.
Todd.
I'm giving
Thank
you
you.
props, buddy.
Now, last year I killed a turkey, and then I went on to not kill anything else for the rest of the year. So let's hope this year is a little different.
It
I'm
will
hoping
be,
for.
It will be different.
But let's talk about Dan. Dan did a great job. Cool footage. Dan's footage, we were talking about this before we were filming. He got some really cool like birds flying down off the roost footage, similar to like Kurt's footage. It reminded me of,
I love
right?
when they do that.
Where they just like flew down right in there, which, I haven't had that experience in a few years. That's fun.
Well, dude, we used to have that experience when we had birds at that hilltop spot, but
I never had them fly down.
Oh,
there.
really?
The birds that I had fly down were actually
best.
where Kurt killed his turkey this year. In there, when I used to hunt there, before Kurt was
Mm-hmm.
there. When I used to hunt there, we used to have birds pitching down into that
Gosh.
valley all the time. That's where I killed my first turkey. It was very close to where Kurt killed his bird.
I love when you can just hear them sailing over you too. Have you heard that? When they do it, it's freaking cool. I love it.
I heard it on the video. Does that count?
That counts.
Well, congratulations as well to Dan Richardson, our good friend. He did a nice job, and then his turkey flopped around in the water. That's a bummer. Turkeys are kind of nasty when they get wet. That's the one thing, like my bird, it was a wet, dewy, heavy, foggy morning, and he just got like a little, his feathers just didn't look as nice.
Give
as
us
they
a
could
quick
have.
Reader's Digest on people who may have got their bird here in the last week or two, wherever they're hunting,
Yes.
or if they saved the feet and they want to do the spurs. Give us a quick little Reader's Digest version, a couple tips you've learned.
Well, I watched Paul Morrison's video, which
Okay.
is pretty short, and
Link
then,
that
dude,
in
it was
there.
super easy. I cut him off with a Sawzall, like maybe half an inch to 3/4 of an inch on either side of the spur.
Okay.
Take the whole thing and just throw it in some boiling water. Let it boil only for a couple minutes, just to kind of soften up all the
So
tissue.
that water's boiling already before you throw it in.
Yeah. And I threw them in there, and then for a couple minutes, and then I pulled them out, and then you just use a knife to cut everything off,
Okay.
the bone.
Did
So
you
all
stick
all
some through the hole
ligaments-
and set them in, or did you just throw them
just
right in?
jumped
the
them
bowl?
in. I just dumped them in.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just pull them out with tongs.
And
or
they come
whatever.
out that white?
Well, no. So then you put them in there, you scrape everything off as much as you can, you put them back in there, and then after maybe 10 minutes or so, the spur will actually like loosen up. So you pull them out, and then once it cools down enough where you can touch it, you just grab the spur cap and twist it off. Once I get the spur caps off, then I used a knife to kind of scrape everything else off. Then I put them back in the water and added some peroxide to the water.
Okay.
And let them boil for maybe like 10 minutes, something like that, until they turned white. And then I
So
pulled-
almost 3 different boilings though. Bam.
yeah,
bam,
but it's
bam.
like I never stopped the water from
Right.
boiling.
You're doing it all in one shot right there.
Yeah, I boil them a little bit just to soften the tissue, to cut most, like do
Okay.
a rough cut, put them in there for a while, pop the cap off, scrape everything else off, put them back in there to bleach, pull them out when they're done, and then super glue the caps on. And then you could, I think Paul used like clear nail polish on his
Okay.
spurs. I didn't on mine. I don't know. I'm just gonna see what happens. I don't know. What happens if you don't put nail polish on? Does it like fade or something? I don't know. I just was like
Don't know.
curious.
I saw your post and it looked cool. I liked it. So
Yeah,
looked
and
cool.
then I just fished a little. I had some elastic cord that I use for like tying up like my my climbing sticks and stuff. If you want to tie a little loop on the end of your sticks to like hang stuff on your saddle, so I just used some of that, fished it through, and made a little hangy thing, and I don't know, hung it on the pegboard in my garage. I don't know. What are you doing?
Oh, I thought maybe you made a little necklace for yourself.
Oh.
No.
No. Yeah, those guys walk around the NWTF show with like 50 spurs on their necklaces, like they're awesome, like anybody cares.
All right. Well, Justin, fun episode. Congratulations to you and Dan.
Are we doing Ask the Experts next?
We have an Ask the Experts, which we do need to get some new ones over to our friend PJ.
We did.
All right.
He's got them.
Good. Real good.
I'm not sure how PJ became the expert.
Well,
around this place.
he's semi-expert.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
All right,
All right.
Todd, go for it.
All right, here we go. We've got a question here from Denson Clark, and he says, are there certain setups you'd hunt more than others depending on the time of year? For example, Justin, what time of year would you focus on food plots versus a heavily scraped or rubbed area?
I don't know why anybody's asking me about how to kill deer because I
Well,
have failed.
just because you don't kill a deer doesn't mean you're not having success. You could let arrows fly. They're just not always the deer that you want to shoot. So I guess I'll take the first stab at this.
I don't understand what that means.
Dude, you can shoot deer almost. You have plenty of deer that you've had opportunities to kill, but it's not the ones that you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah.
Why?
I
You haven't had any. You had no small buck encounters last year that you let them walk
Yeah, but
by?
nobody's asking us questions about how to get closer to small bucks.
Okay, well then I
Hey,
guess this
deer.
question was
This
directed
is for
towards
Todd.
me.
The killer.
So
Food plots versus an area that's all torn up with buck sign.
well, generally for me, food plots, I prefer either super early in the season on those first cold fronts if you're lucky enough to have one,
Yep.
and then late season. That's generally when I hunt my food plots. After, in the middle part of the season, then I'm hunting a little bit differently. As far as heavily rubbed areas, I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've really ever killed a deer in a heavily rubbed area. Usually that's right in their main immediate bedding area. Sometimes you're lucky enough to have spots to be able to slip in there and get right in them on them early. My best examples of that is when I owned that swamp in Wisconsin where I was able to just beat them back to their beds by a significant amount of time. Hunting around here, I have not done a good job with being able to slip into their bedding areas, to be honest. But now, hunting scrape, when you say heavily scraped or rub, I'm assuming you're talking about actual scrapes that bucks make. That's a different story. You know, shooting deer and having active hunting over active scrapes, I tell you what, that's some of my favorite hunting to do. And that is obviously going to happen pre-rut. Definitely want to do that. Again, for us here in Illinois, that's going to be that last 10 days of October is when I have the best luck with that. So if I had to choose what I would do and how I'd want to kill my deer, man, it definitely would be scrapes. It's fun. They love to come. They love to check them, and you can absolutely kill bucks and scrapes. But heavily rubbed areas, I fail at that. How about you? And just in your past, of all your years hunting.
I don't know that I have a lot of areas that I hunt that are ever heavily rubbed.
Really? There's no like swampy areas over there by your one spot where where you go in there and you're just like, oh man, you know they're there. But it's
No.
like, no.
I mean, you'll find rubs, but I wouldn't call it like heavily rubbed or torn
Got it.
up type areas. I mean, for me, I don't hunt a lot of food plots. I hunt a few here and there.
Sure.
They're usually pretty small, and for me, it's more of an early season thing because we
Yeah.
don't have a lot of big food plots, so we usually don't have a lot of late season food in our plots to hunt. So for me, food plots is usually early, and then from there, I go into trying to hunt buck sign and funnels. But yeah, are there certain setups that I would hunt more than others? Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the core maybe tenets of bow hunting for deer is knowing when to hunt based on the time of season.
Yes, I
You know,
agree.
because the deer are doing different things in the
different
beginning of
times.
October to the end of the month into November and then into December. So yeah, there's definitely, I would say the time of year plays a big
Let's
big role.
rewind real quick before this episode's done. Let's talk about that public land hunt that you had.
Okay.
Talk about that setup there. And then if you haven't seen that video, you should watch the video. It was a few years ago, but that was a great hunt. Well executed. Was that a pinch point? Was that a funnel? What was that? Because that was a great example of I think you really kind of getting in and beating deer before they were coming back to bed. That's what at least it felt like, if I remember correctly.
It's not what I was trying to do per se. That was a pretty classic like saddle on the top of a ridge is really what it was. It was just a pinch point. I mean, I think it's cliche to use the term pinch point when it comes to bow hunting, but pretty much every setup I have is in a pinch point. Like you can't kill a deer with a bow if you're not close to it.
Yeah.
So I need to be hunting in an area that forces deer to move close enough to my stand in order to kill them. With the exception of maybe hunting a big field where you're either trying to call or decoy is kind of the exception, but everything else, like I'm trying to get close enough to the deer to shoot it with a bow. So all of my stands are set up in, quote unquote pinch points. And that's what that was. I e-scouted, I found a big ridge. There was food adjacent. And then what I thought was bedding kind of behind me, like I didn't really know. I'd never been in there before. I went more on topography than anything, but I found a big long ridge that had, two kind of big washouts that came up close to one another. And I figured the deer would be, if they were going to cross, there versus going across those swales. And that's really what happened. Pretty much all the deer
I came
saw.
across that hunt the other day. It was a good hunt.
Yeah, there used to be a lot of deer over there until the DNR shot them all. Now there are not a lot of deer. I drove past there over...
The deer are coming back.
I drove past there when we were out youth turkey season. And Joey and I used to drive over there during youth turkey season. And on a nice evening in the spring, in like late March, when everything was turning green, we would drive that loop around that property and see somewhere between 50 and 100 deer. I mean, it was crazy. I don't think I saw one. I drove the entire thing like half hour before dark, beautiful evening. Fields are starting to get green. Like fields I used to see 30 deer in. Nothing. Not one deer. So, a little disappointing.
The sharpshooting will make a difference. But in the meantime, guys, let's wrap up this turkey hunting episode with a shout out to some fan favorites who submitted their photos for the Trophy Turkey Contest.
Is this our last week of trophy turkeys, or do we got more? Young Ben says we have more trophy turkeys.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and take this from the top. We've got Chris Siegel from Canada.
Then we've got Greg Parker over in PA.
Jake Bollinger from Michigan.
We got Mitch Gordon in Minnesota.
And I'm going to go with Ryan Stone from Massachusetts.
And Mitch Lavelle in Wisconsin. We had some good photos this week, Todd.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Jake's not
NGL.
going to win.
Oh, my God.
So he's out. That was easy.
Sorry, Jake. Jake got smoked.
Sorry, Jake
got smoked
Jake, it's
right
a
away.
process of elimination. I mean, sometimes you gotta just do this somehow. You gotta have some sort of systematic approach. But go ahead, Justin. Since you're not willing to call people out, I'm just gonna say it's a little dark looking. He could have displayed that bird a little bit better. The competition's tough here. Then you got Mitch here from Minnesota, who, man, I don't know, had a boat around, some gear not gear, but looks like some farm equipment back there. But then there is blood everywhere on that boat. So, Justin, go ahead and pick the lucky winner then of this week's trophy.
You were off to such a good start, just eliminating just freaking Xing them out. I thought Mitch did a great job. Look at Mitch with his sunglasses and his mustache. I love that photo, even if there is blood in it. However, Todd, I do believe we have a winner. And I do believe it's going to be Chris Siegel, north of the border there in Canada land. Are we allowed to send them free products? Do we have to charge them a tariff or
We
something
got to
to
charge
send
them
that up
all
there?
that money.
Sorry, Chris.
Last time we did that, I think someone got
tariffs.
mad at us because they got a bill. We sent them some stuff, and then they got a bill, and it's like,
I know. Don't blame us. Blame the
You know,
governments.
yeah, don't get mad at us. We're trying to be
Blame
cool and
Trudeau.
send stuff out.
Don't
and
they
then-
have a new PM up there? What's his name?
I don't know. We're not going
Does
to.
anybody know the new
We're
Prime
not
Minister's
going
name?
into politics right now. No politics. We got to wrap this episode up. We're getting the circle.
I still think Chris won, and we're going to figure out a way to get Chris his prize. We're going to figure it out. We're going to work together, cross borders, internationally. We'll get USAID involved. They can help us. Wait, no, Elon fired everyone. We can't do that. We're going to have to figure it out on our own.
With that being said, comment below, guys. Thanks for joining in.
That tree's just too big. We'll just kind of move on.
It was probably too bright.